Hello everyone, I'm Quentin Austin from iCare. Welcome in this expert talk. I'm going to give you some explanation about a case we had recently on a belt-driven fan. Belt-driven fan is quite common in the industry, most of the time some critical equipments. In this case we are speaking about a belt-driven fan, 3000 RPM motor and a bit less on the fan, so we have a difference of ratio between the two pulleys. We are following on a regular basis this fan in a power generation plant. Everything okay, last measurement were fine, but then the customer called us to tell us, yeah, there is something going wrong on my equipment. So we came, we took a measurement. When we look at the measurements, everything seems okay in the velocity measurements, quite stable compared to our last measurements a few weeks before. But then when we look at the acceleration measurements, we clearly see some higher amplitude, about 1600 Hz. So we discuss again with the customer, ask a bit more about the issue. The customer tells us, yeah, the fan is making more noise than usual. Okay, we identify that, we thought that as well. And as soon as we stop the fan, after 15 seconds, we see some smoke coming out of the motor. Oh, that's a bit more worrying. So we investigate. We see that difference in the acceleration spectrum. We ask the customer, okay, did you do something on the equipment since our last measurement? Yeah, we did the preventive maintenance, so we checked the belts, we checked the pulleys, and then we put everything in place like it was before. Interesting. We further investigate. Let's have a look to the vibration velocity spectrum, but a bit more in detail. And then we see that there is a slight difference between the speed of the fan on the last measurements and the measurement we did it on an expertise purpose. So, the noise on the acceleration spectrum, the increase of amplitude around 1600 Hz, we see the slight difference on the velocity spectrum. Then we probably have a small slip on the pulley. Okay, could be linked to the preventive maintenance. If they removed the belts, they had to decrease the tension on the belt to make the removal possible. Potentially the belt tension is not good enough now. So we asked the customer to check the belt condition, to check the pulley conditions, replace of course if it's damaged, but of course at the end, check the belt tension. And they checked everything. At the end, they checked the belt tension. And we see a difference of 10 Hz compared to the belt's recommendation tension. So, nice conclusion. Probably when they made the maintenance, they didn't check the belt tension properly at the end of the operation. What's happening? The belts are slipping. When the motor is stopped, there is no fan on the motor to push the smoke and make it invisible, and then the smoke is coming out of the belt and pulley. Nice conclusion. Now to deep a bit more in detail, what could we have done differently? Thanks to the prescriptive maintenance solution from iCare, we could have helped the customer to precise the procedure to make this kind of maintenance. That will have solved by a checklist and by some operation to be checked on a regular basis, to be sure that we are checking the belt tension as soon as we change the belt tension for preventive maintenance. Now, something else we could have done is, after the operation is done on the machine, ask for a predictive maintenance measurement, or thanks to the online monitoring solution we could have it remotely, having an after overall measurement just to check that the equipment is back in proper condition for working. And then we are on track for the long term. Thanks for watching this expert talk, and see you next time!